okay.
Yeah, too much legal stuff to do with tonight.
They're handing out stuff.
You had to ask.
Yeah, really.
I just want to know what to do about the neighbors barking dogs or something
Yeah.
simple like that.
Sure. Yeah, I got homework. You guys got homework.
I don't get paid for my homework. You do.
Speaking of, I may have to take a call, like, they're having issues and I'll be on call back, so.
And you get paid for that coffee.
Yeah, that's cool. I got 4, so. I'll break for them. Yeah. Well, when's the last time the councilman was in? Yeah, I don't know. I was figured that would be like the pretty damaging thing to vote for, unless you like made it effective like 4 years out or something.
Want these, Tim?
If anybody's gonna call in this one or not, if it goes back to.
I think Brad passed it down to me.
Okay.
I gotta go.
We got it on, 7:02. So let us get up and get this. All right, let's go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Tim,
Yes.
Annie,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
and Brett.
Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Who's here?
He's like, well,
I heard it.
Question already?
You might hit it in the neighbor time.
Okay, on the agenda, I'd like to add a request for a dog to be allowed to come into the city. And so put that under city new business, I guess.
Can I add myself also?
What dear?
Can I add myself also?
Yes.
I had something come up today. And if anybody, or as long as nobody has a problem with it, could I go early on?
Before Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Mike said we could call him if we needed him. But,
Okay.
he said he would, yeah.
It's my
Um,
son's birthday tonight. So.
And then there is a resolution that Mike just sent that I think he wants discussed also.
Resolution of the city, is he gonna call in or who's gonna,
I mean, this is it.
I can talk about it.
Yeah,
because I hadn't even read it yet, so.
we just got it, so.
Yeah, if you pass it first or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
basically it's short.
so Mike resolution. Are there any additions to the agenda
Other than that.
other than Annie and Mike's resolution and Deb Keely's way down here?
The Resolution 222-21-3, we'll take it.
Sure.
Oh,
Know what else to call
okay,
it?
we could put, go all the way down there.
Yeah, I'd probably have to put an executive session at the end. Attorney-client privilege,
Okay.
about certain litigation that I'm handing out treats.
looks like it's gonna be about an hour long.
No, it'll be shorter. be 55 minutes.
Move to adopt the agenda with the addition of Annie's park update, new resolution. Is there any others?
Her loud dog.
A dog.
No, dog
Executive session.
and executive session for 10.
Well,
Is that
we'll decide at the end, put it at the tail end.
10 with any extensions to follow?
And then the resolution that would, go down.
I'll
to-
second it.
All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'd like to approve, I'll move to approve the minutes for February 8th.
I'll second
All in favor to approve February 8th minutes?
I move to approve February 19th minutes.
A second.
All in favor for February 19th?
I move to approve appropriation ordinance 1483.
it. I'll second it.
Okay. Tim?
Yes.
Annie?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Brett?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any public concerns or comments? 1, 2, 3, 4. No? Okay. Department reports, Annie.
Okay, I wasn't actually gonna come tonight, but I got a call from Riley Construction today. They were setting up their initial plan to get started. There's a trailer at the park right now. So, I guess something happened in transferring the documents from the architect to Riley, and it sounds like he's the only one that this happened to. And I don't know, she doesn't know how it happened, I don't know how it happened, but when they send the documents over, and it's a Dropbox thing, so it should have all been together, it was missing the structural work underneath. The pylons underneath need to be like redone and poured again, and it's some excavation work. So it's a considerable amount of work that got left off in the initial bid. So he looked at it today and gives a real quick bid and said that it would be an additional $11,600, which we are overbid already. Just as a reminder, it's like $54,155, which is covered by what we've raised already and the grant. And then his initial bid was 68,000 and some change. I don't remember it. So this will be another 11,000 on top of that. And I can't even tell you the math here. Should be like 180 or 8.
54,155 was the original projected cost. Is that
That's the awarded money. So we have that
okay?
paid for. We were hoping to get someone in that budget, but then 2020.
Okay.
So that makes his bid now $79,600. And he did try to take off a lot of like padding to try to get it as low as possible. I will say I can apply back to the grant to get an additional 15%, and I couldn't tell you if it's 15% of the entire grant awarded or just what they're paying for. But I think that's about $8,000 I could try to get, which I was going to do anyway because we were already over. So I guess do we want to accept this new bid and still try to move forward? That's $25,445. That would either fall on the city or we're gonna have to figure out a different way to do, basically. That does include the entire thing though, including the paint, which we talked about possibly trying to get done on our own.
The guys did take the ramp down, by the way.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, he said he already did it before it got cold. Like, oh,
Don't know how I couldn't even see that. Seriously, like apparently I only saw that side of the park. Wow.
I asked
Okay.
him if he could do it. He's like, "Are you
Ramp's gone. When I was like, go ahead and take the ramp, I guess. I don't know what else to do for you today. Didn't even know it was. I will say if we have to go back to the drawing board and switch, I mean, Dargel Clark's bid did include that structural work So his was at 60,000. So that's where I'm like, oh, that sucks. We've gone through the entire approval process with the Heritage Trust Fund grant with this, and they can start literally tomorrow if it's approved. But if we go back and I try to get Dargel instead, he might not have any availability now, and we'll have to go through the whole contract again. So I don't know. I'm stuck on this. I'm really kind of ruined my whole day. So
When you say we're gonna have to go back and start all over with,
I'd have
the
to
other,
go back to Dargel and ask if his bid was still good, whether he could still work with us, and then I'd have to get a contract written up with him, which the last one took a week or two to get done. And then I have to submit it, and they have to approve it before we can even sign it.
and what was his bid roughly?
68, and they were about 1,000 apart.
Oh,
I don't.
that's right. I remember that.
I'm sorry, I guess I don't understand.
They
were submitted bid documents, right?
Yeah, and our architect made a huge boo-boo and didn't give him a section somehow that didn't make it onto his actual bid amount.
Is the architect liable for that?
I'm starting to think, I mean, this is a serious mess up because, I mean, if everybody got, the
I
wrong documents,
I don't know how it even happened because it's the same Dropbox link, literally, and it's got the documents in it. I didn't even think it was separate.
well, I mean, you guys approved, I mean, he bid a job. And is there a contract? What does the contract say? Is it the attached documents? I mean, I hate to stick it to the guy, but frankly, this is not necessarily, I mean, in the scheme of things, the people who are at fault, you guys aren't the ones at fault. And it either is the contractor for agreeing to something that he didn't get proper specs on, and he can go against the architect, or our architect did this, in which case there should be something from their side. You're right. Because you were presented with a bid, you approved it.
Mm-hmm.
You had no earthly idea that apparently somebody was shorted information. And I'm with you. I don't know how that happens.
So what's our options?
Well, I mean, I don't know offhand because I've never even seen any of the documents.
I hate to just say, well, he's already out there. Let's just let him do it and just bite the bullet for,
$25,000 that we might be on.
gosh, yeah. I mean,
So the contractor shall fully execute the work described in the contract documents.
The other thing is, Annie, wasn't this set up actually with both contractors? For example, the ramp, if we remove it, he had X number of dollars he was going to charge us for removing it, but we did it, so he'll take that off. Same with the painting, same with any other processes that we can come up with. Wouldn't he knock that off? Am I right?
Right,
That's what-
and that's kind of like it's adjusted as it goes.
and I feel like
Should
if we
exceed.
hold his feet to the fire and say, look, buddy, you got to do this one way or the other, then if we go in there and paint it, I don't think he's going to be too excited to knock the $11,000 or whatever it was he was charging us for painting. So we're kind of in a pickle there.
well, plus as the guy we're working with now, is there any kind of break fee on the contract? Is
Yeah, and I don't know. We did sign it.
it, or one of the pay half up front kind of deals?
He didn't have anything up front.
Okay.
Dargel Clark actually had about 24,000 up front, so that was part of the.
I mean, it may be a mutual mistake of fact on both sides, in which case you can't impose the agreement on us and excuse yourself. I mean, we were both under a mistake of fact at the very least. Meaning he thought the contract he was signing was less work than what he may have thought, and he was signing a full contract.
Right.
Or else we wouldn't have given them the bid, probably.
Well, I
You
would
would-
have definitely affected it. That's
It would have been dark.
$12,000 difference.
I remember at the time saying there were only $1,000 apart, so it really doesn't matter which one we go apart anymore.
Yeah.
12,000.
Your architect error,
Yes.
not your error.
So,
Are
Yes.
you sure Dargel got the full contract?
I talked about the structural. I went back and asked the architect that, so he did get it. Yeah. So I think
Is
the
this a,
price.
this is an online item bid contract, meaning he didn't bid there isn't some tally sheet or anything that shows
It's in
unit
total.
prices.
There was something like that from.
Well, he
one of
gave
them.
us an estimate that was separated out, but the contract itself is like a total amount.
And one of the guys gave us something
It
like
was
what
this
Todd's
one.
asking was,
Yeah.
which one then?
Riley, the one we signed with, did give us a breakdown.
It was like this. I have it. Here are the two
Yeah, I mean, that-
bids.
I mean, I wish this is something I could have caught, but honestly, there's no way I would have seen,
How would
I
you
would have
know?
not known, yeah.
This guy.
Because there really isn't a description, it just says, you know, it follows the documents.
Yeah, I mean, that's doubling your out-of-pocket cost almost, isn't it? Like you're going from like 12,000 over to 24,000 over-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
So this is, I mean,
He had them like broke out.
That one's not
yeah, it was a lump
contractual.
sum,
Yeah.
that was a lump sum contract.
Yes,
I hate to slow things down, but I would pull it.
yeah.
I would get it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to cost us 2 weeks. At least it's not gonna cost us money.
okay.
Maybe more than 2 weeks, but either way. I don't think we,
If they can stay set up, if they're willing to stay out there, I don't think we have a problem with that. If we can come to an agreement, is that cool with you guys or?
If we can come to an agreement.
Well, yeah, I mean, but, you know, rather than make them pick up and then fall. everything back.
Mobilization, yeah, maybe a cost to them, but,
Yeah. Well, I may need a trailer somewhere else.
but are they mobilized to do the pier work? Is that,
No, that's true. Yeah,
I mean, that's gonna, excavation,
That's a complete different ballgame.
yeah,
yeah,
so it may not make any difference.
true. Either way, I'm kind of in favor of just slowing things down a bit.
Yes,
I hate to say it, but
for his email today, it was, I think we can get this done for a guaranteed maximum price of 11,600. I have pulled out some markup as well to help. There's no other way to do this beside getting someone down there to shovel and start digging. We will then sonotube with their square footing base and pour the footings. Hopefully this helps. And he said, I meant to add that if we get it done for less than that, we will return the balance, which he said for the entire thing.
So then we've got three that would, yeah, I agree.
Needs to be
Let's,
stopped.
let's stop. What do we need to do about that where it was changed then?
Well, I mean, we had, the contract we agreed was signed, so, I mean, I hate to, if, and I haven't seen the
I
contract.
can throw it over to you if you'd like.
Well, I mean, it's probably not something I can digest here, unfortunately. at this
They're gonna come
time.
back and say we're liable, so where do you go from there?
Well, what contract did you sign?
It's an AIA.
Well, yeah, but you signed a contract that said he was going to build the specs that were delivered on Dropbox for that price.
Yes.
So if he's willing to build what our architect supposedly submitted for the price that he had it, then we don't have a problem. He has to go find out what he missed and fix it for the same price. I mean, I don't think necessarily that's what he signed up for. Maybe, I don't know what the facts are. But the fact of the matter is either we were both under mistake of fact and nobody is bound by this.
Which is what I would lean to.
Well, but you can't have it both ways. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
hold us to the contract and then.
No,
say-
I know, that's what I mean. We should be liable, but he in turn should be liable for.
I did the way we.
I don't-
Because it wasn't,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say that the only reason I'm not saying he shouldn't be liable is because I don't know the facts. I don't know if he actually didn't receive or if there's some internal problem. You know, I'm not sure
I
what
don't
the
think there's-
architect is saying or
I don't
what.
think there's any way
Then we
prove
need to
whether he
stop
received
what
it.
we're doing and have you review what actions happened.
It'd have to be, I mean, unless there's, yeah, I think that's probably gonna have to be the question. And the architect's gonna have to tell me how this happened, the way they said it did.
And the other contractor now on his $68,000 bid, that included the cement work, he got the whole thing?
That's what she said.
Yeah,
So-
and I did have her double check that. I said, did Dargel get everything? And I remember talking to Dargel about, that was one of his complaints, was that we'll have to lift the entire thing up to fix the pylons. And that was I think his quote was actually twice what this guy's was, but everything that he quoted was still underneath the pocket.
Okay,
So, I don't know. What a pain.
Well, I mean, it's,
Should we stop and let you take a look at it?
yes, I think so, and just, I guess the motion or action would be a motion to advise the contractor to stop work at this point, pending review. Unfortunately,
okay.
that's all I can do.
All right, Justin, could you word that up or Brad word it
I'm
up?
gonna say so move.
Yeah,
I'll
the
move to
motion,
Send, but
the motion to be clear is the motion to stop work
Yeah.
for review of the issue of contract.
yeah, that's so move.
And a first and second, all in favor? You know,
I hate to do that to you, Annie, because I know you've
No,
organized.
I get it.
I mean,
I wish I'd just gone with the other guy in the end.
nah,
We wouldn't have been in this spot right now.
We didn't know. I mean,
No, yeah, there's no way to know. Okay. I will email them both tonight and tell them to halt. Todd and I'm emailing you that contract right now.
thank you.
So the company we're gonna go with is most likely is called what?
Dargill Clark Builders, but that's really dependent on all this other stuff.
Right.
we'll have to wait.
Is the other bid.
All right, well then Todd, you're gonna give us a review of what Mike wanted here.
That's, I think you guys put that on your agenda
It's on
later,
the
right?
agenda.
Resolution.
Yeah, later on, so pass for now.
Okay,
Got this one, the vacant stuff. Okay. All right.
okay, so we'll do that later. All right, the second here,
So you guys all have a financial, sheet. If you have any questions, let me know. You notice the lake reserve is on there now, so that'll be something new. And then the only other thing, did everyone read over the amendments for the loan agreement that I received from Kansas Department of Health and Environment for the sewer project? I sent it in an email.
Yeah, I started
It was
doing that.
when a lot of other things were going on. I think it was maybe Friday. But I have that to sign, and if you guys want to just look over your email, we don't have to act on it tonight. Did you look it over?
I'll get to my.
In Kramer's
I have
email,
Yeah.
I
attached
it with
I'm glad I'm not aware.
this in Kramer's email, so I can just put it up on the agenda for next.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Quickly, the reserve for the lake, is that 3 years? Do we have to do that? Okay, I don't need an answer.
I don't remember. Yeah,
I thought it was
I thought it was like 4 or 5.
four or
but
five,
I could be wrong.
4 or 5.
Wishing for 2.
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah, because I think I asked Mike and I said, is that 45,000 or something like that?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do that next time.
That's fine.
Yes, Mike, Stephanie. Okay, Deb, Lawton?
Good question. On this contract, it says, I'm supposed to supply City Hall with monthly sales report of all goods. That's the goods that you guys sell for you guys, or what?
We're wanting to know what kind of profits the bait house brings in.
So my business,
Mhm.
I have to give you, is that legal?
oh, sure.
Yeah?
We don't want exact numbers,
Okay.
just
Yeah, I just want to clarify. And
close, really close.
I get turned around out there, so which side of the spillway?
Oh, you mean what part, you're wanting to know,
Do I go on the other side of the spillway or the front side?
she was wanting to know.
I get turned around in directions out
All
there.
right, she wanted to know if she was just clean the spillway, so let's make it the south side. So that way she is in
It
charge of
says the
cleaning
south side. Which one is the south side is what I'm asking.
Closer to the dam.
Closer to the dam. That's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure.
And
And-
likewise on the
No.
east bridge, closer to the bait house.
Okay.
That's not the
I
south
kind of
side.
got that, but
No,
If you
Debbie,
cross the
Yeah.
water, then there's no line.
I didn't know
Yeah.
it ended right there.
the south side is
House side.
the other side.
Is the house side?
I thought that
When you
was-
say house, are you talking about the caretaker house? No.
No,
what
no,
house?
house. You got the,
Yeah, that shed.
I'm telling her to draw the line through the middle of the water and she gets the side where the dam is.
Yeah,
Because if you cross the
That makes
water,
sense.
then there's no line,
Yeah.
you know. So,
Okay.
okay, that makes sense.
Same with East Bridgeside.
Also, it says here, that they can have power. Are we locking those boxes for the campers?
That's the idea
Okay.
is unless, if you want to work with, if you can come up with a method, a way of ensuring that they don't do, I mean, like you said, when you first interviewed for this,
Mhm.
we have a lot of people that pull in,
Right.
camp overnight, they're gone early in the morning.
Mostly it's a tenting area, but
No,
Right.
no
is there a lot?
campers,
I don't have campers, so.
trailers. Trailers have pulled up and done it many times. And
Okay. All right. I have some things here. This is just some of the ideas that I'm looking at there. If you guys want to take a pack of them.
I hand out it.
I went out today and done a bunch of measuring and some flagging for campsites.
Stephanie, I want one for you, Mike.
The first page is just some of the stuff that I'd like to do by way of improvements. And you guys have a Bobcat
Yes.
both of them.
that I can use to scrape the gravel out of the ramp, The boat
I would
ramp.
say, okay,
so I don't have to do it by hand.
Is she allowed to use?
well, I would say, Debbie, we need to have you
Have fun.
qualified, maybe by Mike to see your skills and stuff, and then,
Right.
but,
Just liability.
Yeah, it's just insurance wise. I don't know that.
Or if it's a
He's an
small
independent-
enough task, I mean, just ask them to do it.
Yeah, I have,
I mean, that's,
That'd be the easier way to
I
do it.
mean, I do
Yeah.
it with the shovel, but
oh,
the water's down low enough that there's a lot of it there. And I like to get it out of there because it's kind of hard to get up out of there when you got,
I mean, is it like a day's work with the Bobcat or is it?
I know, I
Just
don't
a
think
quick-
it, with a Bobcat, I don't think it'll take long at all.
Yeah.
It's mostly on the one closest to the building
Okay.
is where it all runs. It washes down in there.
Yeah.
Once I get the heavy out, then I can keep it out. Okay,
Yeah, just see if Mike could help out with that.
all right. And there are a few other things there. And then I think we should have people, when they come out to camp, sign camping rules and regulations that they all abide by them. That's on the second page, I think. I kind of typed out a few things. I figured you guys would want to either take or add to it.
so we can look this stuff over then, Debbie?
Yes,
and
I
then,
just
the
kind of
next
wanted to
meeting?
go over what I was looking at.
Are you asking for anything? Are you asking for help money wise, or or just, these just general ideas?
These are just general ideas. I would like to do something different with the markings. Cause they can pull those posts up. I'd like to put 4x4s in the ground. And then, in fact, I've got a picture in there of what I was kind of looking at. I picked it up from another campsite.
That's exactly what I wanted to
It's
see
the
also.
second picture.
It has the little clear plastic window that you slide your permit.
Yeah, and I've actually
Absolutely.
got some plastic windows I went to get. Now I can put the name of the person that's gonna be camping there. I laminated some things that I can slide into the pocket that I can write on with dry erase. That way I can reuse them. Write the name of them, the days they're gonna be there. And I also made up some signs. If we can get those that I can put on top, if I can get it out of here.
What camping area is this? They took pictures of.
Devil's Den in Arkansas.
I was asking this because maybe I'd give you an idea on what those cost, where you get those.
Well, I figured if you
Well,
give me
that's
some
okay.
4x4s, I'll build the rest of it to make that.
Work. I give cheap.
Sorry, I'm about to drop this here. And then I got these to put on the top so that they're open so that people can come and say, and then the other side says reserved. And that's kind of what they have there. And then I wondered about, and the page before that is I know we're not gonna asphalt, but could we put some gravel into some of these places where, cause on the one side down in the pines, they just kind of drive over that, and that's gotta be rough mowing, even with a tractor mower. They just drive in there and cut ruts in it, and especially when it rains.
Seemed like we've asked Mike about this before, but I can't remember his answer, but.
I mean, we just throw something in there, kind of, so they kind of know where they're in park and where the campsite ends. I went out today and measured out. I can put in down in the pines, and there's still pretty good sized camp spots. 46 camping spots, or 47 camping spots on both sides of the thing. I got it.
So that's kind of staking out all the tent camping.
Yeah, I went down and flagged it and done some measuring, and then I come back and got on Google Maps, and I only made one copy because I was doing this just before I got here, but that's kind of what
How big are the
I kind of
campsites?
lined it out.
How big are the campsites that you're
Now the ones over in this area and this area, I believe it is, because I actually got it set up to where I forgot to put the lines in, so you can do 2 tiers there. They run approximately 40 by 40 or 40 by 36, somewhere in that area. The ones in the tree area here is 40 by 40. And then on the other side, which would be this side over here, they run about 50 by 100.
they're pretty good size then, yeah.
Yeah,
That's all I was wondering is.
yeah.
That's
I mean, you can
That's better than
put,
some of
you
the
can
other
put 2
campsites
tents
that
in
are
some
out.
of these spots. And actually some of them, I kind of measured with what, I've got a 8-man tent, and I can put 3 of them in those spots. So
This is clear over there by the bridge, right? That's,
this
Just over
is,
to your right.
this is
Yeah,
where
over
your,
here.
all those trees are right there.
yeah,
Boy Scout camp. is what's on the-
Yeah.
okay.
What I was thinking for the parking, instead of putting gravel stripes down inside of this, like where a lot of places where they just have a little pull off.
Yeah. And you
That
could
way
do
they stay
that
up
here,
close to
you
the
just
road,
couldn't
they
do,
don't
you
drive
couldn't do that in
Easier to
this
do.
area.
Yeah,
Cause there's a ditch right here.
top wall in the way. Over time.
It's pretty tough clear over here though. It's steep, really steep.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
As you get closer down here, pulling off side of the road is, it's a pretty steep drop from the pavement down onto that
Right.
grass. It would take a retaining wall or something to put a parking space right there. I've already looked into all that.
Well, unless they come down here and come across or something. They'd have to watch that one. Here's a better picture of that. There's a one, there's a drain right in this area, I think it is.
Well, Debbie, are you available to get together with Mike and do a work time and
Yeah.
any of the other
Now
council
that it's
people that
not
are
40.
interested? Yeah, and then you might also let the council know so that if anybody wants to go out and put in their input, they can be there with you and Mike to do that. Because I know Tim's interested, Brad's interested. As far as that goes.
But today's the first day I've actually gotten out there to actually walk the grounds.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just yeah.
So I just thought I'd give you some of the ideas. I know I run kind of late here, but let's see. Is the city council still gonna be allowed to camp for free?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't reserve for them. They just get what's left. Correct?
I didn't know that.
Well, I'm just asking.
No, we reserve.
Okay. Because in the thing it says, in the contract, I think it was, I don't remember where I seen it, but you had to pay when you reserved. I just want to cover my ass. Okay?
Yeah. So are you planning on reserving a particular spot, Tim, or just change it around now and then, or how are you planning on doing that?
I don't camp out there very often anyway, probably
So
3
you just
times a
let
year.
Deb know whenever.
You just call me and let me know. That's fine.
And I don't camp on the big weekends out there either.
I think that's all she wanted to know.
Yeah,
Yeah, plug you in.
I just want to know.
If it's all full, I definitely don't have any privileges of being able to bump somebody out of there. So
can put you on the roof of the bait house or something.
Oh, maybe not.
So,
We could always put a dock out there. That would be kind of cool. Put it out.
This might be my ignorance here asking this question, but I like these ideas here with these section lines. I don't know if it has to be near that formal, but I do like it laid out and visually see that, you know, this space
well,
could be
this
put
way
to
I
use.
figured, because I'm going to print these out so that when somebody comes in and I can say, okay, this is the section you have, whatever.
Yeah.
And I like to, I've seen tents put up inside those shelters.
Yeah.
I've seen trucks pull trailers right underneath them.
Right.
They
Well,
just cut
yeah.
right on
We're
top
supposed to
of
have
them.
benches around there to
Yeah.
stop that.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well, is this usually cleared out so a person could camp there if they wanted to choose that spot, or is that, I mean, is it kept up, mowed?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It is? Okay.
yeah, all that area is all mowed.
Okay.
it's all really nice lawn.
Okay. I mean, I've seen it like on 4th of July and it looks nice, but I mean, just kind of on the off piece.
It is
It
year
is.
round.
Okay,
Or, well, during the season, I guess it's
Yeah.
kept up well.
All right.
And there is a pile of trees here. Is it okay if I chop that up?
The dead
and
stuff,
clean it up?
I don't see
Yeah.
a problem with burning it.
I think that should be all right.
As long as
Well,
there's no
I've
utility
got a
line above it or
I've got a
anything like that.
chainsaw. I was thinking to cut it up. They could use them at the
you
campsites.
can cut it up and put it in front of the bait house and sell it for firewood for all I care.
Well, there you go.
I just wonder if I'd like to clean it up because
I don't.
I hope you're this energetic at the end.
just put it on your inventory then. I will. I think that's all the questions I had, and I just wanted to get that in front of you. I've been meaning to do it.
Have you been brainstorming of ideas of items that you want to sell?
Yeah, I've got a few things in there already. I don't know. David still hasn't got all of his stuff out of there.
Sell? I'm kidding.
Well, some of the stuff I'm buying from him, all the fishing
Yeah.
tackle I'm buying from him. But I'm gonna sell alcohol. I'm going up next week and get my license for that. And chips and candy and stuff like that. Soda, beer, camping
Charcoal and
stuff.
grilling supplies?
Yeah, and I've got tent stakes, ropes, tie downs.
Very good.
So
Yeah, you might even do well selling some of those little cheapy tarps that they have over at Harbor
I
Freight.
thought about that too. Get some of them because they got some small ones. But
Hit it right, you can get them for $1.99.
I have one of those membership cards. So
Do we need any kind of action on the posts or anything? I mean, if that's something you want to do, I know we've expressed before that I think it's a good idea, but
I think the first thing that we should do is decide exactly where the campsites are going to be, which one, where the lines are going to be. My first thought with this, I like this, but I don't know if we're going to be able to put a road in right here. And I don't know where everybody's going to camp for this. I'm thinking maybe for the first season, we might experiment with just doing one row of
put
them
them in front.
and let them go as long, like these are,
yeah,
because parking is always an issue right in here anyway.
Right.
yeah.
So if it grows to this level, excellent. But for now, we might put these block posts or whatever, and I would put them at the corner, not in the middle, because I really like the idea of just pulling your car off the road and not driving all the way
Right.
up into there.
I don't know if there is a ditch in this area.
Yeah.
So
The electric ones definitely ought to have them. That was kind of where my mind was, first of all. I mean, I wasn't necessarily thinking about the primitives, although we certainly could.
I did call the guy that we got the fire rings from, or I sent them a message and requested another batch of them, and maybe this time they would have a grill, a rack, whatever, some sort, because those are going to be more needed here in the primitive camping areas.
Yeah.
But I do want some sort of a 4x4 like we had the picture of.
You want something solid so they can't pick it up and move it to wherever they want it. I mean, when I was out there today, I found them hanging in the trees. I've been up, wrapped around posts.
I know people have traded them around because they got spot number 15 and they wanted 19, so suddenly 15 and 19 got traded around.
Yeah.
Now, the material and stuff that you use out there for this projects, you can charge at the lumber yard and charge it to, of course, the bait shop or the.
I wouldn't do the primitives right now. I would do the main area and see how it turns out.
Okay.
If that's, I mean, that doesn't my idea. I would do the main area first. Let's see how that looks, and before we get into the rest
The
of this.
post in the,
Yeah.
Anytime you want me to come out there and look and see what kind of progress you've gotten or ideas or
got a
whatever,
good post hole digger?
feel free. Probably.
Cause up there, there's a lot of rock.
I don't have one I got.
So,
No, they don't have a drill. Not that I know of.
so, okay, this
I
is,
wonder why we don't.
this is the ledge.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of a good question.
Yeah.
So this would be the,
Talk
when
about
you
one of
drag
those
into,
handheld
where do you want me to put
Yeah,
it?
just
They're on your
Or right beside the electric.
Right beside the electric.
That's what I thought. Same with up here.
Right beside, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I do the same thing.
Because I'm hoping the hydrants.
They're outlandish.
Water.
I don't remember where
Seems
the,
like something they could use.
I don't remember where the electrics are on these.
This one's right here, this one's right back here, there's one on each side here, and I think this one's right here.
I just look, I don't use all of them.
It might be right there. They're kind of all,
They're all.
this needs to be redone anyway. We need to
Well, I
redo the
noticed-
electric and the water lines on here. We get
The last
deals
one,
like
We do
Doesn't have gravel.
We used to get.
that's just a 110 spot. It was an afterthought. It was,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, we have some 110 right here. Okay, let's let people plug a little camper or whatever into it and call it a spot.
okay,
And it was very much afterthought.
all right.
It's
And
just
can I
a-
get some parking signs and have no parking from this side of the pull-in to this side of the bait shop? Because that gets really congested when people pull in, come in and pull in like this. And then you got a boat waiting to come in, you cannot get through there. And if, you got a delivery truck coming in, say, bringing ice in or something, there's no way they can get there. I seen them unload their truck parked clear out here and carrying the ice to here. Cause you can't get through there.
No park
Yeah,
there.
I think it makes sense, but yeah,
No
Brad's
park
probably
there.
right, but
Well, if people park illegally, then we can ticket them.
We won't
Can't
do
we get
that. We
the,
won't
can't
do
we get
anything.
the
There's
law
no
department to come in?
Right.
Trespassing?
You can't designate a no parking
What?
zone. You can't designate a no parking zone.
I think we're gonna play hell telling people not to park where they've been parking for many years.
Oh, I know. And when I had it before, we had that so that they couldn't park. Because all that
It's
stuff,
our area,
the
but
air
we don't have-
conditioner and all that's on that sidewalk there, if somebody parks there, and then you can't,
Within the city limits.
you don't dare walk there.
So we cannot,
So how do we make?
Spent a lot of time out
decisions
there last
anyway?
summer. I haven't seen an issue
Why
where
are we able to make?
boats
some
and
of these
trailers
decisions though?
with a boat or trucks and trailers with a boat
can.
can't get through. I've not seen an ice truck pull up, but
Right.
Have an answer for that as long as it's complicated, so.
Tyler, he said we're not allowed to do that.
Well, no, you can post no parking signs wherever you want. You can't ticket them.
just enforce
Oh,
it.
you can have to-
Cause he, yeah, cause
Cause
he
they're not
says they'll
supposed to
park
park
there
here
anyway.
either. I've
So
seen
we could get him-
Pull up in there and then we gotta go find whoever has the truck and,
yeah.
and so that they can back in there.
I suppose it'd be against the law to shoot it with a paint gun too.
Does Randy have, no,
Yeah.
can Randy get no parking signs?
Um,
I bet he can.
Yeah,
I bet he can order for you.
We can try it.
Same place as the public access.
What's that?
If they could order no parking signs for the lumberyard.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he
We
has.
probably have stuff
We
as
should
a city for.
Yeah.
I did
They
notice
catalog
this
this
area.
crap.
We had
I
to
found the
film
sign that goes
What's
here.
that
where
word?
it's paint shop and
They,
I think somebody hit it.
Yeah.
so they might be
Yeah.
down there somewhere.
Yeah.
Might ask Mike, he might have a pile of it somewhere.
So,
I think he still ordered like
Like
that.
I'm sorry, Deb, I'm not on board with you.
Yeah,
I'm telling
I mean,
people not to park in front of the big house.
With the rules, actually, we can't do anything about
it was just an idea.
it, but it will keep some people.
Pretty please don't park here.
Yeah.
Don't forget to call 811 before the day.
What
Oh,
she said.
Yeah.
You guys don't know where all those are?
I will if you call 811.
Dave Neatfeld might be the best help on a lot of that.
There's buried electric out there.
Yeah.
A lot of these ideas that you had on here have already been brought up as well, and like power in the shelter houses for one. Benches around the shelter houses.
Right.
on the
yeah,
inside.
listening to Tim make these suggestions and knowing what you'd already told me, I couldn't wait for you two to get together. Because I know that you had some of the same ideas. You've probably seen the same things in other places.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
That-
Brad,
Yeah,
yeah.
Tim's brought it.
I need to put on your list,
I know.
Deb, under no digging holes, and then put utilities are buried here, you know.
Right.
Just,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
just so somebody doesn't read it, it's like, I'm digging a hole anyway. It's like, okay, you could die,
Right.
but
Like on the commercial, yeah. Okay.
So we want her to put some no parking signs up?
I'm cool with it. I mean, whatever.
We can give it a go and people might see the smartness of it.
What'd you say, Tim?
And actually.
I'm not a fan of it at all.
Reason?
I've not seen a problem. I've spent a lot of time out there and I've not seen a problem with trucks being
I don't know either way.
floated around.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm
I agree, because where else are they gonna park?
I don't like them parking over right in front of the beach area, which is the alternative where the kids are playing. And what I would like to do, in that concrete pad across the gravel from the beach, where there used to be a shed there,
Mhm.
I would like to put a picnic table or something with some
I don't
kind
know
of
if
a shade
I thought about that.
where the parents can hang out and sit there and have their drink and their chips or whatever and watch your kids down
Right.
the beach.
I don't
Well, if you
remember if I
have
put
parking
that
right
on
there in
that
front of
list. Yeah. I didn't know if I put that on my list because that was, I mean, there's a pad there. Why not use it?
Yeah, there's been a million ideas that have been presented. So. I think starting out small though, getting what we can afford, can actually get accomplished right now. One of the important ones is those 4x4s with the campsites designated. And I like the idea of, writing the name when they register it or putting a piece of paper behind there, whatever it
We
is.
got money to pay for stuff.
That's
I like that.
Instead of doing them all,
that's
can
a
you
great
do,
start.
can you do one or two and let us look at it?
Yeah.
And say, see what your idea is?
Yeah.
Do you have my number yet?
No, I don't think I have any of you guys'
Okay.
numbers.
I mean, I just,
Do you have, do we have a?
yeah, that kind
I'm
of,
more than happy to come out there and look anytime I can.
Okay.
I do.
I think we need to see one
Yeah.
and see what your idea is and see, make sure it's okay.
All right.
Deb, Stephanie can get you their numbers.
Okay.
She passed out a sheet a long time ago.
Okay.
They're private, of course. So, Okay,
I'll move to approve the CMD license.
I'll second it.
Is that Tim?
Yeah.
so is that your way of saying you were done with Debbie then? Okay.
I thought she might. She did, but
Uh-huh,
just moving it along.
okay. Motion made, second. I didn't hear who the second was.
Tim?
All in favor? We got 4 here now because Annie left. Okay, we have streets and alleys here. Do we have a report on that?
No, I asked for it to be put on the agenda because I would like to set up a work session to talk about streets and alleys and some improvements that we need to get done and maintenance and so forth. Does anybody have any ideas when they want to do that?
Don't send it out in an email, I may not get it.
Me either.
What you might do is give us some dates and then we'll just, I mean, I'm pretty available any evening.
So I, so,
Tim, Justin.
Well, my hesitation is I'm doing overtime days this week. I sure don't want to do it in the evening, and I don't know what next week has in store for me. Whether I'll be doing overtime then or not.
What's your availability?
What was it for?
Streets
A
and
work
alleys, you
session
do
for
some work
streets and alleys.
sessions.
This week wasn't.
Like a beginning of the week, end of the week.
I was looking at my schedule. today.
Probably gonna
No
be
ti-
better.
No days, evenings, yes, but like the nurses have been trying to come in and see Joe.
Statement that
We're not.
I was thinking a Monday or a Thursday. I was thinking a Monday or a Thursday, just from what I could remember of people's schedules.
like Monday of next week would work
Not
better
tonight.
than this week. Is that,
I mean, a week from today,
yeah, is
your
that,
meeting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than do it this Thursday,
Right. I was thinking next week for either one of those days.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so
okay. I don't have a problem with either one then, Monday or Thursday.
Monday the
next week.
first. What time?
do we
6,
want to go
7?
earlier? Do you want to keep it at 7?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good with anytime.
Okay.
I can get here early.
If we can go earlier, then I may be able to make it.
Yeah. Well, we want to do 5, like, I don't know, does that work for everybody? We did 5 on that special meeting, but,
That works for me.
okay.
On Monday?
Monday the 1st at 5. Are those are open to the public, right?
Yeah, they're
Like,
open.
if he wants to be there.
You just can't vote on anything.
Yeah.
But
Would you
we'll
put
have,
that on our website so that people know? Or what, something, just
Special
somewhere.
nature.
We're gonna talk about streets and alleys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially where we got
Yeah,
done.
a work session.
That
Yeah.
anybody's welcome to come.
We'll have, we'll either have, the streets and alley guy or Mike come in. So. That's that. You don't need to vote on that, so.
Well, you need, it's a work session, you guys,
Okay, March
it's a
first.
special. almost not.
It's not a special meeting.
It was,
Unless we need to vote on anything, but.
No, it's special when you're here.
no, on the work session,
Very special.
Can't vote.
5 PM. Nope, that's
Okay.
No
right.
decision.
No decisions. Okay. All right, I'm going to bring, Deb Keeley is wanting to get a dog mix, and part of that mix is a pit bull. I would once again like to, I've had several people that talked about and signed a petition that they wanted us to review and have the public involved in making and read the ordinance for our animal things. And part of that is Topeka has gotten rid of their law about pit bulls. They just have vicious dog ordinance, which we have a vicious dog ordinance. I mean, as far as that goes, sometimes, those little tiny dogs, what do they call them? The little wiener dogs, dachshunds. They'll bite your ankles, but they'll kill you unless you get an artery. Now that could happen. But so the pit bull thing is kind of like, not necessary. And there's a few other things about our ordinances that we, so I would like to get together several of the people to sign petitions. I'd like to, what, Todd?
I said I just was trying to remember if we repealed.
We've talked about it, but we never did. I don't know where you did it.
It just kind of feathers out.
Seemed like we were repealed it and reinstated. I mean, that animal ordinance has changed probably 4 times.
Well, we're
over the
talking
last
about
5
the
years.
breed specific pit
Right.
bull.
It's never been
Ordinance.
moved, it's still there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we still have it.
Yeah, when Topeka did it, they got
Probably
excited,
not.
this council got excited and put it into action, and then we. break
What
it
is
all.
the fine for breaking the ordinance?
For what? The pit
For
bull?
breaking our ordinances? If you don't have your dogs registered, if you have a
They're all
dog we don't
different.
allow.
Yeah, just no
It's in the
registration, like
code. Maybe.
$15. That's the lowest one. I mean, I think that any type of vicious animal
There,
is judge set.
Yeah.
So it's not, there's not a,
there's no limit.
sometimes they'll set them and say, first offense is not more than 250, second offense is not more than 500, but.
So how do we go about collecting these fines for the people that are breaking
So I was gonna ask,
ordinances
how do
with
we
the
enforce
animals that they currently have?
How to enforce it?
Well, if they have to come to court first.
Yeah, they
And
would
then
have
be
to be,
charged by the judge.
Yeah,
And then from there, we could collect.
Or simple, you have a Chihuahua and a Rat Terrier and you don't have them registered. You're supposed to have them registered. So if you don't have them registered, then you have a fine. So they go to court for that?
yeah. You can
Okay.
file a complaint, so you gotta pay the fine. I mean, you can give them notice, and if they don't do it,
Right.
then prosecute them, but that's what you do. That's the only way those fines can be enforced.
So then we should probably put our animal person on people that are breaking that.
Yes. Whenever she finds one,
That'd be never ending process.
yeah.
Well,
But
could
in the
you print her
meantime-
out a list of all the people that have their dogs registered and have paid?
Mm.
So that then she would,
Yeah, I've
did she
shown her
get that
before.
already?
She doesn't have a list, but she knows where the files are. And I've showed her. Yeah, she knows.
Okay.
And if she sees, if
Because there
there's
are
a
quite a
question
few people
about,
that don't have it.
yeah, and if there's
Well,
questions
yeah,
about
not-
dogs,
not that there is.
how she's
Yeah,
been
I mean,
doing it
one
now
thing.
is if there's a problem with the dog or a dog is
I better
out,
check.
she's been coming in and seeing if they've registered rather than going like each person. If she has an issue with the dog, she's like, is it registered? And I'm like,
Check and see if
yes or no.
mine's yours.
Okay.
Mine knowledge, but I mean, just, I don't know if Jesse or Jesse.
Is there
You're
a way
wanting
to
to-
increase that?
No, let's wait. You want to increase the fines and stuff?
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
amending the
not do
ordinance. I mean, there's certain, the only way to do it is take away the judge's discretion in some respects. if you want to-
Before we start that, I really want to review the ordinance with the public. We have some ordinances that were put in place by council people who had prejudices in the past, and I think that we need to address it with.
So you don't want to hold anybody accountable
For
the
what they
breaking?
have now, yes.
Okay.
But I also want to look at some of the ordinance that we have that are just doggone silly. If you've got 8 or 9 acres, you should be able to have some kind of critter on it. And so we need to talk about that, especially if it's out there. I got 6 acres next to me that, nobody could put anything on hardly, without somebody complaining. And nobody's going to complain because I'm on the edge of town. There's a lot of people. If you got a good neighbor and you have good relationships, usually things work out. My neighbor had 5 geese and I loved them and I fed them all kinds of strawberries and vegetables. And then I find out that we don't like geese in town. And then there's roosters. I have a neighbor that had a rooster and he's gone. I think the owl got it. And I loved it when he crowed. So I don't understand some of our ordinances. I think they're cruel.
She's excited to say on it, but yeah.
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 Well, okay,
Oh,
we're
Some
still talking
people don't
about-
like a rooster crowing in the morning.
But that's not a reason to make an ordinance because 1 or 2 people don't like, if a dog barks, you're going to make somebody get rid of their dog that barks? No. And also the amount of chickens that a person can have, sometimes that should be a variable.
Nope.
And so we need to look at ordinances and see what the public would like to do, and then they can present that back to the council. And I don't know why you said no to chickens. Why did you do that?
I said no to limitless chickens. That's absurd. If
Oh,
you
I
want-
didn't say, no, not limit. I said not 8. It's not very much if you have a big property. If you have enough, see, Sally was talking to me about the fact that when somebody makes a request to have an animal, she would like to be able to go out and see the space that they have to see if they have adequate space for those animals and then make that recommendation. And so that just made a lot of sense to me. So that would be something that should be in an ordinance that, you could have it just whether or not a person has the space for it or not.
That's why we have to have it cut and dried in black and white in paper, because if our animal ordinance officer today thinks, yeah, you have enough space to have 4 pigs out there, but the animal ordinance officer that we get 6 months from now, because we never can keep a person in that position, thinks absolutely not, that's ridiculous. Now where are we?
Well, I have an issue also with, it's saying the McGivern issue is that we have a standard and it needs to apply to everybody. And
Exactly.
it doesn't matter how much property they have. It's one standard that applies to everybody.
Well,
Exactly.
and you're
I-
talking about space and stuff
I
like
know,
that,
I know.
and that's
And I get
fine.
your point that because you are on the edge of town, you do have more properties, but unfortunately you're still within the city limits and we still have to have a standard rule.
And sometimes, well, I'm sorry, but this
I
is
just-
American. If a person has property, they should be able to use it the way they want, as long as they're not impeding on their neighbor. And what I'm talking about is if Sally goes out and she has it in mind what an area, what kind of space a person would need for 10 chickens or 20 chickens, she could write that up in black and white. With the things that a person has to do and the cleanliness of it and how much you take care of your manure and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't want to discuss that tonight because this night is going to we've got lots of stuff to cover. Maybe not. Yeah, we got resolutions to go. But I would like to, I'm just telling you, I'm going to get a group of people together and they'll bring it to the council and then we can have the nitty gritty discussion on it. It'll probably be sometime this summer. Something that they can work on.
They're more than welcome to come in every week, every time. Yeah,
Sure.
come in anytime.
I like public involvement.
Meanwhile, we need to have Sally on people breaking ordinances that are
Yes.
currently
Yeah.
doing so.
So it's easy to come in, especially if people complain about an animal, then they can check on it.
Mhm.
Because that's a good way to start. Okay, good, thank you. Now we're on resolution.
So these are the resolutions that Mr. Todd typed up for the houses. First one's 207 East Second.
Pretty standard form, you guys have done this before, so. Nothing.
So this would
Shocking.
require them to come before the council.
Yeah, you wanna set the date when you make the motion.
Both of these are leaning down the path of demolition, right?
Uh,
Clarifying that.
the one, yeah. I don't know about the first one, but the second one, yes.
I wrote them both that way,
Okay.
assuming that was not.
Way we're heading.
Okay, there's one in back there.
This is the one that's, yes, like
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they
What's
started,
the other one?
that Aaron was in.
up there by
The
Charlie
other
Willard's
one-
place, by the old school. And then there's that nice house where Joey used to live, and then next to it is Charlie, and then the one with the hole in the roof.
I'll move to approve resolution 222221-1
Yeah, that's fine.
and 222221-2.
I'll second
Is this a roll call?
Resolution.
We have a first and second for these two resolutions. All in favor? 1, 2, 3.
Did you wanna set a date on this?
Yes,
I think you gotta give them,
because keep in mind, I have not sent these yet, because you guys just passed
So
them.
what's the earliest date?
this is February 22nd. I think they gotta have 10 days from the hearing date to the mailing, so.
Okay.
I would like to, I think that March 22nd would be the first time.
The what?
March 22nd meeting would be the first meeting that they would be
Yeah,
prior.
First and second
I would
Monday
say,
is the first and 15th.
Well,
no,
you-
it's the 22nd.
Second
Yeah, that's your
and fourth.
second meeting.
I'm doing that. I'm, see, I've got food brain. I told you. Dizzy as brother.
But then
Okay.
April.
If that's the earliest, then that's
Not telling you till late.
that's
So
what
both of them March 22nd.
You might as well have them both at the same time.
Okay. All right.
hearing.
Mhm.
Cool. I will get this signed and sent tomorrow. Do I have your penalties, your stamp?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the next one is that draft resolution that Mike did. I got the same copy today from League with KMGA related things. And basically what this is it's a resolution that just says the feds have declared a state of emergency. Some other people have declared a state of emergency, not that one.
This
I know it's one
one.
Oh, that one's draft.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, this one.
I don't know if, I don't think Wabunsee County declared a state of
They
emergency.
did actually last Monday.
Okay, so that would be inserted in this, and then basically you're doing it
Yeah, I thought
as well. You have no ordinances or anything that trigger anything. And I think they summed it up nicely on the email. They said this is for public relations purposes.
Symbolic, and plus, if they look at the state level, all the cities that have declared emergency, you're padding the stats. So you're throwing Eskridge's hat in the ring.
Yeah,
I like it in that regard. But
yeah, I think it's all the way around. It's not a bad thing. It's not
it's
a,
a-
but
it is a resolution of the city of Eskridge declaring a local state of financial emergency, which we don't know the cost impact yet of the natural
gas,
gas.
the gas charges. So that would be the passage would just be that.
I'll move to pass this resolution, call it 22221-3.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Just fill in as appropriate. I mean,
Yeah, we can
where it says insert your city here, obviously.
Cost me more than ever did. I
Right,
didn't have any sunshine.
we had a motion and a second. All in favor? Awesome.
You might have figured out he has a duty on filling that out too.
Okay, yeah. And then let's skip ahead. 102 beta, that is just if you guys want to go ahead and kind of formally decide. I haven't heard from them. They signed for their letter. Oh, it's been past the 10 days. So if you want to do a resolution for them,
Of course, I would love to do a resolution for them. However, we have two that we're working on now. What are the odds that we can accomplish a third, in your opinion?
Well, if we could
Finance-wise.
get if we get it resolved and declared, can we tear it down whenever we want to? Like in the next money cycle? Or do we have to tear it down? within a year?
you don't have to, there's no,
I thought you said before there's no expiry to that.
not
Once it's-
really, no. I mean, I think there's probably a reasonableness factor in that. At least I don't want to bring up one that's been 5 years old and do it, suddenly turn around and tear it down. I mean, this is about due process and notice, so we're trying to make sure people know what we're doing.
On this particular house,
Yeah.
they've had notice. They're,
Many.
So I don't have
Been in here a
it, so
few
I think that's
times.
that's a good plan.
so.
All right,
and I'm
Todd,
sure they'll come
there
back.
is a very serious question I want to ask you about this. As we tear houses down and then people don't sell the lots and stuff and they sit there empty, can we not move on those lots after a certain amount of time or in such a way that because we have money against them, and if it's like $5,000 or $6,000, probably nobody's ever gonna buy it.
No, never get auctioned off.
Well, that's
Auctioned off if they stop paying on the property tax.
Yeah, the methodology that would occur is, and I don't know what Wabunsee County does timing wise, but they'll have a tax sale eventually if they're not paying their taxes.
Yeah.
This is assessed against their taxes. They're not paying it.
About 3 years, right?
Well,
That's
But
what
they
she
don't make you
says.
true up the tax bill. They just,
yeah, they just
if
say.
it goes for $100,
Yeah,
then
that's-
Then-
that's-
then
Yeah,
they
that's
take
what it
They're not
whatever
gonna care about ours.
is owed
They
for
don't
the
care.
lot out of the $100, then pay us the
Yeah.
rest, which probably is.
And
Well,
as a
then-
matter of fact, the city could buy it for that.
I was gonna say, can we go and buy it? We should go and buy it.
Well, you can, but you're not gonna get, but you wanna do the same
Why?
thing. You'd wanna
Why?
pay
Or
$10.
So that you
maintain
can
it.
turn around and sell it. I mean, even if we don't get the money out of it right now, you're not getting anything out of it. I'm just saying,
Well,
rather than
there's-
let somebody buy it for $100, you can
There
run
is.
run it up to
But
200.
then you're gonna be at whatever it costs for you to tear it down, plus the cost of the taxes for 3 years that they didn't pay.
But
plus
you're not paying,
owning it
you're not
and
paying
owning it.
taxes.
Wouldn't be out the taxes.
There is an option here that's different, that may be a little bit of a field that I've seen. It's called a land bank. And it's a process where that kind of thing happens, but you get it donated up front instead of going through the tear down process and doing all that stuff. They will donate that to the city, and then you get I think a group of them, and then maybe that can be tied into the grant or something for a tear down. Then once you have possession of it, you get once you see the ordinance for the land bank, you can see kind of how it works, and you have to have somebody who's bird dogging it, but that's another option.
So is that proactively reaching out to
Yeah.
a homeowner and saying, hey, we've identified this, would you be interested in donating this to us? And
Yeah, putting it in the land bank. And then if they're just sitting there and it's obviously on their neck, then
so,
yeah, that puts it in a tax situation where the county isn't taxing it anymore, or it's staying at steady state.
but it stays up and
But
stays
it's-
blighted and,
But well, that's just it. You can tear down an order. You can get, like I said, the grants. Sometimes
And not on the hook for the prior taxes that they already owe.
I don't think so. No, I need to look at that ordinance and what it does, because it's been a while since I've enacted one. But it's something that maybe you want to look at. I've got a little cheat sheet on it I can dig up if you want to take a look at it.
Because it seems to me that this happened when there was a house down by the park that we got. It was the land was donated back to the city, but then we turned around and sold it for $50, which I never understood that. I was sitting up, because it's
is the one
prime,
up there
where,
Those
One's
were-
across the
those were
street from me that I wanted to buy when Bill Cook was on the council. And he told the council, don't let them know about it because they don't need it. And then those lots sold to Bob Brown for $50 a piece.
And the city had acquired them.
And the city had
to sell
acquired them?
for-
Sold them to him. And I live right across the street and I wanted them. And I told him, yes, the city did that.
but anyway, we won't do that. Not even if I'm not mayor, I'll be out there. You said bird dog, I will bird dog those properties.
Not that Bob, I like Bob, he's taken great care of it, he's a great neighbor, but
Yeah,
he's a really nice guy. I love him to death, so.
good.
Yeah,
good.
and I
I'm glad.
know the idea was to try to get that land developed originally. That was the original council, and I think it went at least twice that I know of, went to a party and got taken back under the clause that they didn't build.
And I was ready
But-
to build.
Yeah, but I don't know. I know that we as a city were tired of the liability of having it, and mowing it, and so on and so forth. So
Okay, Todd, would you look into that, please?
I can give you that stuff. Yep.
Thank you very
But
much.
that's an option for. That's down the road. So I guess you want they moved on beta.
Well, let me ask you a question.
So
You want the
Yes.
letter.
resolution.
Yeah.
So if they don't want to give it to you, you're right back to square one.
So I guess we can,
just,
You guys ready? You're basically, she's got the format now.
same thing.
yeah, just
Do you want to
plug and
pass the
play on the address.
resolution?
I would keep going with it up to the point of demolition, and then, cause we can
Yeah.
always start over if we have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
So the directive of the council is for Stephanie to drop the resolution for next meeting.
Okay.
we can
Oh,
just right
okay.
now, without being rude.
I prefer it that way.
Okay.
So
All right.
I don't know what the violation is.
I wanted to
Two
make
people
that
city.
I,
And you're still looking at it.
I would like to see that one.
I,
take-
You're too close
I
to
used to
involved.
live
You just
down
ain't
there. It
close.
drove me nuts. So
I would like to see that one. take
I-
down
I
before
can't blame you one
Put a
bit.
firebomb that down the road.
Yeah. Did you want to make a motion?
We can.
Oh, what do you, I didn't hear
I'll
what
type
you
up the
said.
resolution and
Yeah, we'll just.
I'll
Okay.
have it for the
All right,
next
fine.
Plus, it's right there when you
Thank
come
you.
into town.
Yeah,
Right on the
it's-
doorstep.
It's, yeah.
Welcome to Desper.
Okay.
Years ago.
So we took care of all the resolutions.
My executive session.
Okay, we're going to go into executive session with our lawyer. And so for 10 minutes. So
I moved to go into
we're gonna
executive session.
excuse Brad.
Where you going? That's fine. I'll pass. So it's executive session for attorney-client privilege.
He made a motion, somebody seconded it.
Yes.
Do I have a second on the motion for an executive? Brad, second. Say yes. Okay, all in favor?
Is that unanimous?
All in
Unanimous?
favor of
Is
the
that
motion.
unanimous?
Don't get me in trouble by telling me that I don't know what I'm doing here.
No, this is just.
Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'll
Thank you.
shut off
10
that.
minutes. It's
Well, we're gonna do it, yeah, right?
Well, it's 8:15 by that thing.
Well, by the time that we get to.
It's 8:13. Hey Siri, put on the clock 15 minutes. Oh, she hates it when I say that.